Look at your 60-day-old tomato seedlings. You think they are strong, ready to conquer the greenhouse and give you buckets of fruit. You are dead wrong. Right now, they are ticking time bombs. If you plant them the way you normally do, you will destroy your entire harvest. I guarantee it. Every single spring, millions of gardeners commit the exact same crime. They drag these overgrown, stressed plants into the greenhouse and bury them alive. Stop scrolling and listen. I am going to show you the ugly truth about what happens underground when you make this fatal mistake. Your tomatoes are screaming for help. If you don't change your method today, you might as well throw those plants directly into the compost bin. Let's talk about the garbage you bought at the garden center. All those expensive rooting hormones, chemical shock preventers, and synthetic fertilizers. Throw that toxic trash away right now. You are literally burning the fragile root hairs of your 60-day-old plants with that synthetic acid. The garden centers love it when your plants fail. It means you will come back next week to buy more of their useless, overpriced chemical sludge. You dig a tiny, pathetic hole, shove that massive root-bound cube into the cold dirt, and drown it in blue chemical water. This is murder. The plant goes into immediate, severe shock. The roots shrink back, the stem turns purple, and the lower leaves start to turn a sickly, rotting yellow. You think it's a disease? You think you need fungicide? No, it's your own incompetence suffocating the plant. Wake up. You are fighting against nature, and nature will punish you with a pathetic, miserable yield of tiny, sour tomatoes. Let's look at the biology. By day 60, a tomato seedling has completely exhausted the miserable little cup you forced it to live in. The roots have coiled around the bottom, creating a suffocating death trap. They are literally choking themselves trying to find space. When you take that dense, tangled brick of roots and put it straight into the greenhouse soil, it doesn't know what to do. The surrounding soil is colder, the root ball is dense. Water simply runs around the outside, leaving the core bone dry and gasping. Meanwhile, the giant green top of your 60-day plant is sweating. It's transpiring water faster than the paralyzed roots can absorb it. The result? Micro tears in the vascular system. The plant cannibalizes its own lower leaves to keep the top alive. This is why your plants stall for 3 weeks after planting. They aren't settling in. They are fighting for their miserable lives. Look at the stem of your tomato plant. Do you see those tiny, fuzzy white hairs running all the way up the side? Those are microscopic root primordia. The tomato plant is begging you to bury that stem deep so it can grow a massive, explosive root system. But you ignore them. You plant it upright, leaving that tall, weak stem exposed to the wind and the burning sun. Pathetic. Enough with the mistakes. Grab a shovel and pay attention because I am going to give you the brutal, hardcore truth on how to save them. Step 1. Stop watering your seedlings 3 days before planting. Yes, I said stop. You want them slightly wilted and flexible, not pumped full of water and brittle. If you try this with a fully watered 60-day plant, the stem will snap in half, and you will have nothing. Starve them just a little. Step 2. Do not dig a hole. Dig a trench. A deep, long trench running horizontally along your greenhouse bed. We are going to bury these overgrown monsters alive, laying them down on their sides. This is called trench planting, and it is mandatory for 60-day seedlings. Now, take a razor-sharp pair of scissors. Cut off the bottom leaves. Don't pull them, don't tear them. Slice them cleanly. Leave only the top tuft of healthy green leaves. Yes, it looks brutal. Yes, it looks naked. Do it anyway. Next, take the plant out of the pot. Look at that coiled mess of roots. Don't be gentle. Rip the bottom of the root ball open with your fingers. Tear those coiling roots apart. If you don't physically break that spiral pattern right now, they will continue to choke the plant forever. Lay the stripped stem and the busted root ball flat into the bottom of the trench. Gently bend the leafy top upwards. Now, the secret weapon. Forget the chemical fertilizers. Throw 1 handful of pure, sifted wood ash and a handful of crushed eggshells directly into the trench. This is raw, unadulterated calcium and potassium. It will armor the cell walls of the plant against disease and rot. It costs absolutely nothing. Cover the entire stem with warm, loose greenhouse soil. Only the top cluster of leaves should see the light of day. You have just turned a tall, weak, overgrown 60-day problem into an unstoppable root-generating machine. Every inch of that buried stem is going to blast out aggressive, thick white roots directly into the topsoil where it's warm and fertile. But we are not done. The watering is the final, critical step where most amateurs screw up and invite fungal death. Do not sprinkle the top of the soil like a coward. Flood the root zone. Take lukewarm water and pour a massive bucket right over where the original root ball is. Drive the air pockets out of the soil. The wet dirt needs to slam against the stem, sealing it in tight. Let the mud settle. After the water drains, cover the wet spot with dry mulch, straw, dry grass, or dry soil. Seal that moisture in. If you leave wet soil exposed to the greenhouse sun, it will bake into a hard, cracked crust that strangles oxygen flow. Do this exactly as I said. Your tomatoes will recover in 48 hours. They won't stall. They will explode with violent, dark green growth. The root system will be 10 times larger than the pathetic plants of your neighbors who dug tiny, shallow holes. A massive root system means massive, heavy, juicy fruit. You won't be picking miserable little cherry-sized failures. You will be dragging buckets of massive, glowing red, sweet tomatoes out of this greenhouse until the frost hits. Stop trusting the chemical companies and start working with the brutal laws of nature. If you want the raw truth about saving your garden and getting extreme harvests, subscribe right now. Get back to the greenhouse and get to work.